Biafra movement was for your liberation. Some of you saw maybe the oil and gas from Biafra land. If they go now, we won't have access to oil and gas. In the process of having your eyes fixated on oil and gas, your forest is gone. Do you understand it? Every Yoruba person supporting Fulani, you are setting up yourself to become like the Hausa people. Remember when Hausa was supporting Fulani? We are Hausa Fulani, we are Hausa Fulani. Where are the Hausa people today? I ask you. Where are those Hausa people today? Do you see them anymore? They're saying we are Hausa Fulani, we are Hausa Fulani. Do you see them again today? Do you see them? I'm asking you. No, because Fulani have completely overwhelmed them. It's called emasculation. Completely emasculated them. Look at what they're doing in the East. In the East, they come to the East, I will tell you, oh, you want to be the president or vice? Yeah. They say, give us land for Ruga. They give them land. I saw Joseph Okado did that Lord Banta. They've taken it over in forever and ever. Give us land in your state. Hope of them are prove to us that you are stood. Give us land in Olo. Hope of them will give them land in Olo. We can go and kill people in Obibo. We can kill for them. How many Fulani governors are prepared to kill bandits? I didn't say normal people. I'm talking about armed, dangerous bandits. How many Fulani governors? Go and read your newspapers, you will see it there. Fulani governors are negotiating with them, giving them arms, giving them vehicles, making sure that their life is no longer a misery. But see, they come down to the south. They tell you, give us land for Ruga. Go and kill your people to prove to us that you're one Nigerian. That was why Obioso was talking rubbish. Was talking, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Supported by the BBC. The problem you people have in Nigeria is this. Your journalists, you see people, Punch newspaper, Tribune, Vanguard, and Nation, they are your second worst enemies. I'm telling you the truth. They can never, ever be objective in their reportage. Never, ever, ever. That's why all of you are suffering. But you don't know it. They were the same people used to scuttle the NSAS protest. Of course, some of you went about looking for Indomie in warehouses. Typical black people. Any revolution that is coming now, you must stand very firm. They'll say, oh, you're Igbo. Oh, you're Yoruba. Oh, you are from Europe. Don't join them. It's our turn in 2023. If you do this, you will scuttle our chances of becoming the president in 2023. Ask yourself, all of them that have been president from time immemorial, what benefit has it brought to you as a human being? Absolutely nothing. So you have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. You look at them now, how they have now descended on Yoruba people, asking them to concede, give us your forest, we must graze, we must do this, we must do that. And slowly, before your eyes, they are giving in, they are capitulating, they are allowing them to go, if you don't give it to us, Tinubu will not be president in 2023. Tinubu won't be the president. That's what I'm saying to you. And foolishly, you will agree and hand over your land to them. And once they take your land over from you, look at Hausa. Because there is a saying where we come from. If you want to know what your life is going to become in the future, look at Hausa people. If you want to understand, appreciate, I will say, the life that you are about to bequeath to your children and grandchildren, look at Hausa people. Is there any Hausa governor today? Is there any Hausa emir? Is their land though? Katsina is Hausa land. Kanu is Hausa land. Sokoto is Hausa land. The Hausa people own it, indigenous to those areas. I'm asking you this question. Is there any Hausa man who is an emir in the north? The answer is no. Something's going to happen to you. If you don't rise up now to break, I'm not even asking people to break this, you demand for what rightfully belongs to you, your freedom. The freedom to decide. The freedom to write a constitution if you prefer. The freedom to live with whoever you want to live with. That is what we're asking for. But most people misunderstood what we are saying. And today, almost everything we have said about the zoo has come to pass. Everything we have told you, everything I told you has come to pass, hasn't it? Everything. And some people are still questioning and arguing. They said, Fulani will resist by all means necessary, including armed resistance, any attempt to forcefully eject them from the forest. Yoruba, you must ask yourself this question. When we were pursuing them from a Boeing, why didn't they say something about ESN on Nnamdi Kanu? Why? Have you asked yourself that question? Because they know we are prepared to die to defend our land. They understand that very well. That is the only language the Fulani understand. You cannot say to Fulani, oh, let us have a Fulani president, and after that all will be well. Never, ever, ever. They will continue to expand. They will continue to identify idiots in your midst, traitors, saboteurs in your midst. They will promise them heaven and earth. They will give them anything they ask for in order to ensure that they get into you, they subjugate you. Look at Yoruba land, Ilorin. Yoruba, how did you lose Ilorin? You lost Ilorin because somebody thought or felt that by aligning himself with what he felt was a superior Fulani force, he can defeat his own people. Afonja, what happened? As a result of that miscalculation, the great Yoruba race lost Ilorin to Fulani Caliphate. That is why in Ilorin you have an emir of Ilorin, not an Oba of Ilorin, answerable to Sokoto. That is where Lai Muhammad comes from. You can see them. Sokoto slaves in Yoruba land. When I say that it's not religion, it has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with the mentality of a conquered people. Now they have left the Ilorin, having taken Ilorin and taken it to Sokoto. They now want to come into Oyo. They want to come into Ondo. Once they take over all those places, it's over for the Yoruba race. Over for you. No, never again will anybody rise a man of honor or integrity in Yoruba land. Never ever. It will only be their stooge. Look at what's happening in the East. Only Fulani stooges can now emerge in the East. It took them very many years, nearly 50 years, to accomplish this very simple task of making sure that everybody, be it Ohanese, be it Pandef, be it governor, anybody you're bringing out must come to the north to swear allegiance to the caliphate. All of them, ban on. Is there any political godfather in the East? There is none. They all go to the north to go and swear allegiance to the Janjaweed. That is why our life is in a mess. That is why they can do something like Obiozo and make him the Ohanese President General. In front of our eyes, in front of Korokoro. And what did they bribe? They gave money to BBC. They gave money to all Zoo newspapers. They started to trumpet. Obiozo, Apex Group, Apex. You saw them holding their meeting under a canopy. A ton without shame. A whole Ohanese. Under sand, ton canopy. Maybe you saw it disgraceful and shameful. Talking rubbish. The man looks like a Janjaweed anyway. Talking nonsense. These are people they have prepared for you to sell you down the drain. By the time the Fulanis are done with you, believe you me, if you don't rise up now to fight for your freedom, by the time Fulanis are done with you, you'll be more useless than a Hausa peasant doing Babi Allah somewhere in Zaria. That is the future that awaits you. Now, our people must understand this very clearly, especially my Yoruba brothers and sisters. It is about time you stop supporting evil. That evil is in Asorok. That evil is a gang of reprobates calling themselves presidency. The more you keep on supporting evil in the zoo, the more your life
Are you playing?
Mirrors never lie.
Will Nigeria ever be free from corruption?
You're always watching me fall. Shadows, they like my wall.
Okay. When will Nigeria be free from corruption? After this presidential election? In 10 years' time. In 20 years' time. Nigeria will be free from corruption when the world ends.
Different.
Will you say Nigeria go free from corruption where everybody don't amen, where everybody don't die, when the world don't end?
He shot you.
Nigeria will be free from corruption when the world has ended.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, great people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you and I welcome you to this afternoon exposition. Of course, while you are joining us, share the video, invite others to join. We are live on Facebook at Judge Money Blog. We are live on YouTube at Judge Money Blog Africa. We are live on Twitter. Okay, we are live on Twitter as well at Judge Money C. So wherever you are watching from, share the video, invite others to join. I want you to know, that we are still battling on Facebook. All we have to do, whenever you join, share the video, because we are seriously battling with Facebook. What they do these days is that if 10 people join, follow my page, they will remove 20. So that's what they do. If 2 people join, they remove 4. So it is what they've been doing to my page, but that is not going to stop us from preaching this gospel. And of course, you will see, if we try to bring more people into the program, when they see that the audience is growing, they just remove me from Facebook. So whichever number they are going to give us, we are going to use it. I will not try to bring people into the program so that we will have, maybe we'll have a complete broadcast on Facebook. Maybe people will watch it, or we'll watch it in a real time. But or we watch it the podcast. Great and wonderful people of Biafra, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. As you are joining us, I want you to know that we are live and direct. Today is Thursday, February 9, 2023. It is 13 minutes on top of the hour, regardless of where you are. It is 13 minutes past 2 in the land of Elohim, in Biafra land. We are live, we are direct, and we are here to set the record straight. We are here to actually address some of the problems that we are facing. Of course, you can see that Nigeria is burning today. Nigeria is in the future of our people, the future of the money holders or money owners in Nigeria. It is in a limbo, and there is no way we are going to help them other than to let them a voice, because you can see it is as a result of what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has been preaching over the years, trying to get our people ready for freedom, trying to make sure that our people does not find themselves in where they have found themselves today. And the problem we have as black people, it is one, and that problem is we being able to focus on one thing and achieve it. But our problem is always that we can never ever concentrate and focus on that thing that we want to achieve. We were fighting for freedom. Obedient, Britain decided that this freedom fighting is gaining momentum. They decided to bring obedient to you, to use obedient to actually delay you, to delay time in order for Fulani to achieve their aims and objective, which is exactly what is going on right now. Many of you can see it. Even a blind man could see that Nigeria is no longer working. There is nothing you will do for Nigeria to make it work. And I can assure you categorically that whoever that is advising Nigeria, it is Catriona Lang through their cabals in Britain. Because whatever they are doing, you will understand that, be it money redesigning, whatever they have started doing, it is as a result of the advice that they receive from Britain. That is the reason why you cannot access your money today And those who are giving them those advice, you will ask yourself, have you ever gone to Britain and you hear people are not able to access their money they have worked hard to make just because they have painted their currency? Where were the government when they claim that the people who have this money that is bringing the runaway inflation? Because this is the excuse they will always give. It is the excuse. In the past 60 years, people has been hiding money. People are hiding money all over the place. In the past 7 years, people has been stolen money. People have been stealing money all over the place, burying it in GP tank, under the ground, warehouses. It is not a new thing. There was a Naira redesign a few years ago. It never happened in this way. They redesigned Naira, I believe, in 2005. If not 2005, it is 2003. Or maybe before then. There was a Naira redesign. That's why you find your 5 Naira looking like a plastic. So there was a Naira redesign. And in this regard, you never felt what you felt right now that Naira is repainted. Do you know why you are feeling it? Remember, this is 2023. It is this year that Nigeria is going to face, the battle that is going to destroy her. It is the year that Nigeria is going to face the biggest challenges of her life. And it is the time that our people who understand or know what it means to look for freedom, it is that time that you start looking for that freedom, because if you don't start now, you will never finish. Why do you think that they will leave you to go to bed hungry? They will leave you to naked yourself in the bank. They will leave you to cry for them before they will give you your money. Why are you buying your hard-earned money? The money you have worked over the years for. If you want 50,000, you have to actually pay 56,000 or pay 6,000 extra rather. 50,000, you get 44,000. 6,000 is for the owner, for the person who is selling this money to you. Has this such thing ever happened in Britain? Ask Catriona Lang, has such thing ever happened in Britain? The answer is no. But because Catriona Lang is there, in the zoological republic where animal monkeys and baboons are dwelling, that is the reason why she will care less. They will continue to give you advice that will destroy you. And the reason why I am telling you that they are the people who are actually bringing these advices, it is because there was an article which I came across. This article they were writing about, it is not only, that is, I believe it is US time. Let's say that, let me see if I will be able to, I saved that. Let me check. I believe I've saved that article. You will understand that everything they are doing, whatever you have seen them doing, it is going to work against you. Let me see if it is this article. I hope I am coming out clear. Those watching on Twitter, continue to retweet the video. We are going to go hard on these perpetrators of crime, on those intimidating our people one way or the other. And our people have to actually start helping themselves. If you're on YouTube, continue to like the video. Click the like button for the algorithm to continue the sharing. If you join YouTube, click the like button for the algorithm to broaden the audience. So, what it says here, it says Washington, the Washington Post. It is the name of this newspaper, Washington Post. Let me read. That is the name of the newspaper, Washington Post. I'm going to read it for you. Why Nigeria is clamping down on its vast cash economy. I want you to understand that the reason why you are suffering today, it is as a result of the advice coming to you, to your empty brain government who call themselves your leaders, that does not have any initiative that they can use, initiative of themselves that they can use to drive the economy or drive the country to, to the best, but they don't have such. They have to continue to lend advices from these people who does not care about your people. Those people who would want Nigeria to sink even tonight, so that they will be reaping the resources coming out from that country. Because once Nigeria is actually good, the resources might no longer come to them. That is the reason why. Let me read this thing for you. Then you will understand the way they are praising it, what you are going through. Why is Nigeria clamping down on its vast cash economy? Analysis by Anthony Osai Brown and the Emele Onu Bloomberg. Okay, Bloomberg. I don't know if this is part of it, but let me read it. A customer count out payment from a bundle of 500 naira banknote inside a market in Lagos, Nigeria on Friday. Lagos, Nigeria. On Friday, April 2022, choked supply chain, partly due to Russian invasion of Ukraine and an almost 100% increase in gasoline prices this year, are placing upward price pressure on Africa's largest economy. This is not actually what is the part of the news that I'm trying to read here, but let me send this news to where I will see it. I will catch it to be bold. Just one moment. There is something I saw there. It is a small, headline, so it is too small. Let me bring it to the computer where I will see it to be bold. There is something I want to actually extract from there. Okay, he say a customer count out payment from a bundle of 500 naira banknotes inside a market in Lagos, Nigeria on Friday, April 22, 2022. Choked supply chain, partly due to Russian invasion of Ukraine and an almost 100% increase in gasoline price this year, are placing upward price pressure on Africa's largest economy, which is Nigeria, according to them. Okay, now, before we go, this is not the news I want to read. It is a link I have seen. Now, I want to actually talk about it. Because when you look at this, when you look at what is going on here, you will understand that they are talking about Russia invasion of Ukraine. That the gasoline price, which is petroleum, all these prices went up. That is it the reason why you in Nigeria does not have petrol? Could that be the reason why you do not have petrol? Because Russia invasion of Ukraine. Yet they call you the biggest economy and the biggest oil producing in Africa. Biggest economy in Africa, biggest oil producing state in Africa. Now, you don't have petrol. people are all over the place with their gallon looking for petrol in Nigeria. They name it Russia-Ukraine war, and you agree with them because this oil and gas, they are coming out of your, out from your, from your land in Biafra land. This oil and gas that is, the pressure is affecting you today. It is coming out of your land. If Nigeria were not able to build a refinery, why wouldn't they allow the locals that are doing bunkering, support them so that they will start, bringing out some oil, some petrol that people are going to survive on? Since their duty, they cannot fulfill it as a government. Now they're blaming Russia-Ukraine war, including the Washington, Post, which is from USA, helping them to blame Russia-Ukraine war so that everybody will hate Russia for the sake of Ukraine war. No, it is not the problem of your Russia-Ukraine war. It is a problem of African leaders who are not, thinking about the future. It is the problem of these people you call your leaders who are not ever objective. They don't have long-term planning. They don't. Today they're blaming Russia-Ukraine war, when every resources that the world is surviving on is in Africa. It is in Africa. So what has Russia-Ukraine war done to you as is in Nigeria in your petroleum prices? Not only that your petroleum prices is very high, you don't even see the petrol to buy. Is it because Russia-Ukraine war? Do you buy your petrol from Russia or from Ukraine? Where are you getting your petroleum? Your petroleum comes from your land. Who is playing politics with your petroleum or your gasoline? That every day it is going up. It is very scarce. Then they tell you it is Russia-Ukraine war. We are not going to believe that crap because they are lying. Russia-Ukraine war has nothing to do with petrol scarcity in Nigeria. It has nothing to do with you not being able to find a petrol to buy in Nigeria. It is as a result of your wicked and bad cabals that are in Aso Rock, led by Garba Shehu. Those are the people that are making decision for you. That decision will never ever favor you as a common man on the ground. That is the reason why they are telling you Russia-Ukraine war when you are, your biggest oil producing, country in Africa. What will Russia-Ukraine war do for you? Do against you? When it comes to petroleum, when it comes to crude oil, what is it going to do against you? If Russia-Ukraine war is stopping you from importing all this oil, all this petrol, gas, and all this diesel, all these things, because you do not have what it takes to make use of the resources that God bless you with, allow those local people that are doing bunkering, help them actually to do bunkering and bring out this oil for the people to use. Instead of going and setting them ablaze, instead of going and shooting them, instead of going and killing them, just because the Texaco from Texas is trying to, is getting the same oil, just because Shell from Britain is getting the same oil, when the local people are trying to actually explore this oil. They call it bunkering, they kill them. Why? Since you know that these people doing bunkering, they know something about oil refineries. And since they were able to do it without having a refinery, why don't you let them your support? Because lend them your support. Since you government does not have the capacity to produce the petrol, the gas, the diesel, or anything that will help the nation to have these things sufficiently, why aren't you helping those local people producing it? But rather, you have to go and export it, and now go there and buy it back. which is going to continue to bring, contraction towards your GDP growth. Contraction towards, it will be bringing inflation. Inflation rise towards your economy. These are disadvantages of you going to buy your oil from outside the country. Is that not an evil politics that they are playing with you? Very, very evil politics. So you ask yourself, do you think that these people ever wished you well in the last 60 years of independence? Or would you tell me it is only 1 decade ago that Nigeria discovered that they have oil, that they don't have a sufficient refinery that is going to actually give them, this oil in bulk, without bringing inflation to themselves? Why can't they refine this oil themselves and sell it? Because there is nobody who has a political will. Countries that have no oil, they have refineries. The countries that are having oil, they cannot build a refinery that will enable them to have a sufficient, petrol. They are blaming Russia-Ukraine war. Are you blaming Russia-Ukraine war? Are you allowing these people who are causing Russia-Ukraine war to come and tell you it is because of Russia-Ukraine war that the queue to buy petrol is from, it is like a queue, almost 1 kilometer queue, just to buy petrol? Why are you people allowing these old hacks to fool you? Why do you continue to allow these people to fool you? Why don't you stand up? Are you crippled? Are you 200 million laymen? Are you 200 million morons? Are you 200 million animals? That when one tiger or one lion come to chase after them, they will be walking in their pack, they will all start running, instead of trying to defeat one of these tiger. No. It is cowardice. An act of cowardice. That is the reason why you allow old men who cannot even remember how to, their birthday or remember their children's name to continue to make decisions for you. And every day you are proud to tell us that you are one Nigeria. It is an insult to humanity. Whatever you people are allowing to yourselves to go through in that Nigeria, it is an insult to humanity. If this thing happened in Asian world, revolution, would have taken place. If it happened in Europe, revolution would have taken place. If it happened in anywhere of any part of the world except Africa, it will trigger revolution. But in Nigeria, in Africa, they will keep on complaining, keep on crying. That's when you see them being naked in the bank because he fell up. Your shame is shaming me. You go to the bank, you go and get naked too because of the money they have taken from you. But you will not actually tell yourself enough is enough. Let us find a way to end these things once and for all. We were agitating. Immediately our leader was caught. They bring you P2B and tell you it is obedient. Now there was a question I have asked you people on Twitter, those watching on Twitter. I have asked you people on Twitter, in case if this man Obi, if he goes there, after 8 years, what happens? If he stretch it to 8 years, after 8 years, what happens? Another Fulani will take over. And what happens? Even if there is any implementation done by Obi, do you think that another Fulani cannot change it? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Every year they will bring you somebody and tell you that they are Messiah. You will buy. Is that not an act of an animal? Don't you see the reason why Nigeria is called a zoo? Can't you see it is really a zoo? It is an act of cowardice. Every year, in the last 60 years, they will tell you it is this person that will do it. You buy. without question asked, rally around him. 2015, Buhari was an action man. 2015, Buhari was a no-nonsense man. 2015, Buhari was good luck. Why good luck was bad luck? 2015, there was a lot of rallying around Buhari for him to be there. The same way you are rallying around P2B. The same Buhari died 2017. They gave you an imposter who does not care about you. They gave you a group of cabals in Aso Rock. Your top politicians, they hide it. They actually make sure that they swear an oath to hide this atrocity. Because they were all promised Igbo presidency. They were all promised Yoruba presidency. They were all promised Fulani or Hausa presidency. All of them promised presidency. How are they going to find themselves solving this conundrum? All of them were promised to be presidents. One president position. More than, 100 people were promised to be president. In their own privacies. And all of them, they will go and be killing people. They will be going and becoming ruthless to the people. That is the reason why Tinubu killed you during NSAS, after Catriona Lang's visit to Tinubu. Because tollgate money is being accounted to Tinubu. He killed you. Because he don't want to scuttle his chances of being presidency to 2023. That is exactly. So many of you are telling us that Obasanjo is endorsing Peter Obi. He is endorsing him. Congratulations to them. But why? Is that because of his goodness after dealing with Biafra during Biafra war? Is that act of his goodness after dealing with Biafrans? Or is he scared that Atiku will go there and will deal with him? What exactly is it? Because none of them will ever do something without having ulterior motive. Whatever they do as a politicians in Nigeria, there is always an ulterior motive. And that ulterior motive is something that you need to understand, that there is no free lunch coming from these politicians that you call your leaders. There will never be a free lunch when it comes to them. All of them are, all of them are the same. That is the reason why the atrocities happened in Aso Rock. Your president died. They gave you an imposter who cannot even speak Fulani language. He cannot speak Fulfude. I saw a link saying that Buhari agreed that he cannot speak Fulfude, Fulani language. His mother tongue. A president. I saw that link going on. I might even copy it, but I have a lot to talk about. I don't want to deviate from what I am talking about right now. Let me go to what I am reading. Let me continue to read. Now, we are coming back to the reason why they claim you are not seeing your money today. Because whenever the politicians, they do evil, when the politician does evil, who is going to stand to actually pay for that evil of the politicians? Who is going to pay for the evil that politicians are doing? It is you. It is you. It is you that is going to pay for it. Now let me show you something. I want to show you some. I want to actually bring this thing I'm reading so that you will be seeing it. I want to bring it so that you will also see it. Let me read it. That is it. It says Nigeria have until the end of January to exchange their highest value. This was before the new date was given, but there is something very important I want to extract from it. Now, the aim is to bring an estimated 2.7 trillion naira, which is in a bracket $6 billion that circulates in informal channel into the regular banking system. But cash is the life blood of Africa's biggest economy, and there's concern that the switch over could trigger the kind of chaos that broke out when India tried something similar in 2016. Now, these are the people who are, advising Nigeria, knowing what will be the outcome. They will advise Nigeria, do this for you to fight your inflation, for you to fight your runaway inflation, for you to fight your economic or bring monetary policy. You need to do this without putting a measure. Is there any contingency plan put in place to mitigate the people coming to bank crying, people committing suicide? Have you seen the video of a man who climbed to the tower, jump out from there for the sake of what Nigeria is doing to him? Have you seen that one? Of course, maybe so many of you might not have seen it. People committing suicide. Because this is what the system have actually put you into. They say that they know that this thing happened in 2016 in India, which triggered a lot of chaos. They actually try to do the same in the zoo, because they know in the zoo, or they believe in the zoo, that people who are there are people without any soul, are zombies that can never react to things. That is what these people, they see you to be. 216 million people and over. They cannot be able to fight against their challenges. They will not be able to rise up to fight their challenges. They are waiting for people to do that for them. Are you waiting also for international community to come and give you your money that you put in the bank? These are very important questions you need to be asking yourself, because every day we are praying to America, praying to Britain, praying to international community, praying to all these people, tagging them on Twitter, telling them this is our problem. At the end of the day, how many of them are getting solved? Have you now seen the reason why your white Jesus is no longer answering your prayer? They never answered your prayer. You always believe it is answering you. It is never answering you, because that is exactly what you are doing in disguise. You are praying to these people, believing that the people who place you in the predicament where you found yourself into are going to come for your aid. They are not. We are just doing this as formality, because we know they will never come to our rescue. Rather, they will introduce more system that will make us not to stop agitating, like giving us P2B today. That will make us stop agitating. Now, let us see. Nigeria have until the end of January to exchange their highest value banknote for freshly issued bill. The aim is to bring an estimated 2.7 trillion naira, in bracket $6 billion, that circulate in informal channel into the regular banking system. But cash is the lifeblood of Africa's biggest economy. They know cash. They know that they have never established or introduced a system to you that will enable you to access fund through virtual ways, instead of using cash flow. Instead of using cash flow system, they have never built a good number of banks. They have never introduced good number of ATMs. They have never introduced you to POS. That is the reason why people have the opportunity to use POS to do business today as a private individual. You withdraw money and pay somebody through POS instead of making ATM machines available. They actually make these things very, very tough for you, so that in that regard, when things like this come up, You will cry your mama, your papa. You will cry like a goat without nobody answering you. There is cash flow. Cash flow is the lifeblood of people in Africa, biggest economy, which is Nigeria. Cash flow. Now, what is going on? They want to now bring you into the banking system without introducing the infrastructure that will enable you to transition without hiccups, without introducing the awareness campaign that will get you ready for what is to come or foreseeable future. They have never done so. All they did is to just tell you within the period of 6 months, we are redesigning Naira. If it is even up to 6 months, 3 months, we are redesigning Naira. They have finished redesigning Naira. Now they give you a period of maybe 2 months. If I'm not mistaken, I stand to be corrected, but I know it is not up to 6 months. Period for them to actually gather those money back and reintroduce the new painted Naira into the society or into the market. They never gave you time. They never gave you awareness. They never put any contingents. They have not done anything to make it easy for you to transition into this new policy. They have not done so. That is the reason why it is very, very important that that is the reason why media is very important in every country of the world, but not media in Nigeria. Because they will educate you, they will inform you through media. They will go to these rural areas. They will go and actually find a way to educate them, get them to open bank account, establish ATMs for them, make sure that they have access to this new policy that you are about to make, that it is actually made available for them. But the Nigeria government never did so. Nigeria government want to take you by surprise, and you will be thinking it is to fight inflation, or it is to fight terrorism, or it is to fight those who are stashing your money. Now, who is it fighting? The poor people. How many rich people did you see in that queue in the bank crying? How many of them? Because everything they do it to make sure that the poor will always cry. So that when you always cry, anytime they say hello, you say hi. Anytime they ask you to jump, you say how high. That is the psychology of what they are doing. They will make sure that you will always cry. How can election be nearing? They are promising you heaven on earth, promising you what you've never had before in the new Nigeria. Some people are telling you that they are going to bring a new Nigeria. They are going to unite the new Nigeria. They are going to do this. They are going to do that. How are they going to start? Where are they going to start? The implementation, what they could not do in the last 60 years, is it what somebody is going to do in the next 8 years? If he is going to actually last there for 8 years. What they could not do in the last 50 years, 60 years, 63 years, which is 6 decades, is it what they are going to do in the next 8 years? That is how bogus you will understand the promises of those who call themselves the presidential aspirants. That is how bogus their promises are. That is how they lie. This is how they will continue to manipulate the narratives. How will somebody just get into that place for 8 years and make a change that has never been made in the last 60? Why do you think the change has never been done in the last 60? Do you think it is because there has never been anybody with a political will to do those change? Or has it been a system that is created to sabotage anybody with a political will to do so, to implement that change? You have never thought so. You have never thought about it. All you keep saying, we need to take this one out. It is these people's turn. Let them do this. These people will do this. That they will change that. No, it does not work that way. It is the system that is dealing with you, not necessarily an individual. When the individual is actually so ruthless, like the one in those gangs of reprobates in Asorok, evil people, when they are wicked, that's when you see the worst case scenario, like you are seeing today. But in the last 6 decades, what you have seen dealing with you, what you have seen, watching your infrastructure decaying, watching your road being sold as a piece of land, it is the system that is dealing with you. But now you have the worst human beings in the system that is already projected to deal with you, which is exacerbating the dealing with you, which has already been implemented through the system. They exacerbated it. That is the reason why you are committing suicide. That is the reason why you are naked in the bank crying. And not like they care. They don't give a damn. They don't care. And that is the reason why it will continue to get worse, because the people they are dealing with, they don't want to help themselves. Let me continue. How will it work? How will it all work? The central bank is changing the color of the 200, 500, and 1,000 naira notes, and the new bill will go into circulation from December 15. The hope is that then people drop off their old notes. Just like that, as easy as talking. Many will choose that moment to switch to making electronic payment via a bank account for their day-to-day finances. Now, do you know all these things that they are doing? Let me tell you, who they are trying to actually give this benefit by, this banking system. Do you know banks are owned by individuals? Are you aware that banks are owned by individuals? Oh, so many of you are not aware. Banks are owned by individuals. Some of them are foreign bank. Some of them are owned by local people. Now, in this regard, those foreign banks that will, know how it operates, or who want this money to be flowing through the banks, they will be charging you interest rate. They will be charging you depositing, rate. They will be charging you a lot, which is making them to make money. This is how they make money, not how you make money. Because you are giving them your money, and they are using your money to do business by giving people loans. Giving people loans. When they use your money to make money, they charge you also for depositing the money. They charge you for keeping your money. They charge you for using your money to make business. You are not getting anything out of it. So when they get all the cash flowing through the bank, it will only benefit the banks, not you. And if you broaden this, it will benefit, the economy somehow. How is it going to benefit the economy? Because now they will introduce cash, this banking system when there is when the bank is giving out loans, and the interest rate, if there is inflation, interest rate hikes or repo rate hikes is going to be help to curb this inflation. Then there will be money, cash flow in the banks. There will be money for the banks to do business and return their tax. Because when interest rate hikes increase, the money that they will be paying to your central bank will be more. All these banks, they have tax that they pay to your central banks. So that money will be more, which is also helping the economy. But the most people who are benefiting in this type of situation where you find yourself, they want to force you to bring all your money to the bank, which is not a bad thing. If had they put every means necessary in place to make it easy for you to transition to this type of, conundrum, because it is conundrum, because you have never found yourself in a situation like that. There are some people in the village, they have never gone to the bank, they have never seen what ATM card look like. They have never, they have never done that because they were not educated or introduced to it. Because somebody must introduce you to something before you engage. That is the reason why you find people doing marketing. That is the reason why you find people doing adverts, because that is a way of introducing you to the new system or new thing that you might not be aware of. Who did that to our people, to our mothers, to market women who always do day-to-day business with cash transaction? Who does not know what ATM look like? These are the people who are suffering as a result of the decision that Nigeria is taking today without thinking about these people. Because every good government of the world, before they make such decision, they must consult the people. They must make sure that they put up a campaign that will make everybody to be aware of what is going on. But this one, they want to do it because so many of them believe that some of them have stolen more than the other. Maybe they claim they want to use it to tackle this, but if they say they are using it to tackle insecurity, okay, before I say this, let me continue with the reading of what I was reading. Let us actually find out if they indeed, what the reason why they were advised to do such thing. Let's continue. It's harder for the central bank to do its job when an estimated 85% of local currency doesn't go through the banking system, and well over 90% of transactions are made using cash. Announcing the currency move in October, Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele said it would help to control runaway inflation. It could also reduce corruption and organized crime. The country has a thriving kidnapping industry that sees thousands of Nigerians abducted by the bandit each year, with relatives often paying cash to secure their release. Now, this is one of the reasons. They claim that they were, okay, the one that made sense here. The one that makes sense here, it is because, which is what I, if you are introduced to COMEX, if I want to find a terminology to, to qualify this, you will understand that when there is this, when there is a banking system that is working, the economy will be able to fight inflation. It will be able to fight inflation, which is the central bank, with the policy that they will put in place by introducing monetary policy or whatever, they will be able to fight inflation, which is the inflation that is swallowing Nigeria, which is one of the things that I might agree with them, a little bit here. Now, the next one, which is another of their excuses. Another of their excuses is that the terrorists are businesses established by people. They said it here. Corruption and organized crime. The country has thriving kidnapping industry that sees thousands of Nigerians abducted by bandits each year, with relatives often pay cash to secure their release. They are claiming that what they are doing is actually going to make the terrorists who have taken cash from people for kidnapping their loved ones, that they are actually going to, that these people are going to now, those money might be useless to the terrorists. That's or to the kidnappers or to the criminals. That's exactly what they are saying. And now, in saying that, I have a caller. Hold on for me. I will put you through. I know you have something to say. Hold on for me.
Okay.
All right. So, there is, in this regard, how will you take back money from terrorists when the terrorists, the people who are sponsoring them, are the same people who introduced this policy? When this, terrorism is a lucrative business in Nigeria as we speak today. Bandit kidnapping and all that, it is a lucrative business for politicians today. Now, you want to tell me you are trying to curb the menace of terrorist attack or terrorist activities and these kidnappers or banditry in Nigeria for the sake of painting the currency, when the people that are actually promoting these things are in the government. They are the first people to get this currency first. They are the first people to call their bullion van, to bring them new naira note and take the old ones. Have you now seen the corruption, how it will continue to ravage you? Because they claim they are using it to fight terrorism. Instead of bringing a good system of security, instead of bringing people who are willing to secure the country. Have you seen when Eastern Security Network was introduced to fight those terrorists in our bushes? Didn't you see how effective they were? They were very effective. They curbed them. And as a result of them making sure that there is no terrorists in our land, in our bushes, that is the reason why these people called the government and their politician made sure that they went to go and kidnap the commander of this security outfit, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, just for them to destabilize that security that is fighting terrorism, that is a lucrative business for them as politicians. Maybe so many of you does not know the reason why they have to go to do extraordinary rendition on Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It is as a result of Eastern Security Network making sure that they kept the terrorism that is coming into Biafra land. Immediately when they take him out, they now try to go and invade. They infiltrated this Eastern Security Network, knowing that the command that if the commander is actually on the ground, no one will ever try, because these are devoted army. They were not getting paid. They devoted themselves to serve the people. Had it been these, politicians in the eastern region, had it been they came together and lent their support to their own brother Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, you will never hear anything as this nonsense happening in our land. But because this type of business of terrorism, business of kidnapping, business of armed robbery, business of all this evil, they are all about, money that the government is making from it. That's why they had to kidnap Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. There is somebody that is calling me. Let me actually pick up that call before we proceed. Let me pick up that call, and then maybe there is something he wants to say. Is he here? Then he will bring in that input, then we will proceed.
Hello, Judge Money.
Yes, Mazu.
There we go.
You want to say something?
Yes, I want to say something. You see, we are going to be watching how these politicians and their shenanigans are going to implode. I was listening to, what's his name, Little Finger, Cardinal Little Finger, Hel Rufai. And he has already declared the Republic of Kaduna.
Wow.
And he was telling people, do not go and put money in Tinubu, when they elect him, he will reverse everything and the old money will still be in circulation. This new money. So and you see the guy that is coming in as the governor, APC governorship candidate, is standing with him. And this guy is the same person that, move a motion on the floor to have a new Naira design. I mean, can you imagine this kind of, the set of people that are give or take, this man, El-Rufai, has already committed treason. Because number one, even the Supreme Court does not have jurisdiction to say anything about the monetary policy of federal. CBN is an independent entity on its own. It's like a government of its own. So they bring a policy that will help the government. So the Supreme Court that these three governors went to, Kogi, Kaduna, and one other governor went to go and get injunction. It is completely implosion. They are going to kill themselves. See, I have said it a number of times. The empire structure of Nigeria is the problem of Nigeria. Until that empire structure is gone and gone for good, anybody promising you a new Nigeria is a horrible human being. There is nothing like a new Nigeria. It will never happen. They want to build a bridge where there is no river. There is no river where they want to build a bridge.
Now so that is there a mountain.
Anybody promising a new Nigeria is a mischief maker, because there is nothing like that except P2B. That is where is he going to start? By the way, that is the question. Where is this man going to start? Is it the cabal? I mean, what we are waiting for is the real revolution to start. So, but my fear is this. My fear is this. Is there any concrete thing that every ethnic nationality will have at hand to be able to mitigate the dangers of this revolution? Because it's going to spiral out of control.
Of course.
But if there is, that is why we miss Mazi. Mazi would have brought in some good ideas that will right this time now he will be gingering everybody. Good ideas that will make people know what to do, where to do it, and when to do it. But he's still there. He has said many things, concerning this situation we are in. It's just for everybody to sit back and watch. And good enough, the DOS is there to guide our people. And that is what we are hoping for. And we will continue to pray for them, because Nigeria is coming to an end. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. There is something you say. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu already told us that we must prepare for a revolution. A very bloody revolution. He said it in one of his programs that we must prepare for a revolution. And everything that is happening today, he already said it. And it is up to our people to just remember what he said. I was listening to one of the video the other day, but the problem is that some of those people who lack, a ground to understand what is going on, when you play such video, they will misinterpret it. That is the reason why I am not going to play it right now. But let us continue. Thank you very much, the priest of peace. Thank you very much. And it is very, very important for you to know. That reminds me, the Supreme Court actually ruled against the deadline which they have given you to, stop the money, the cash exchange, which is 10th of February. The Supreme Court ruled against it. Now Malami came and said there is no such thing, that the deadline stands. That is exactly the latest that is going on. But we are coming to Malami. Let us finalize this the Washington Post. The amount of cash circulation has more than doubled since 2015 to 3.23 trillion, okay, to 3.23 trillion naira. Yet, almost half of the population of 220 million, that's the number of Nigeria, don't have bank account. Nigeria has just 4.5 banks branches for every 100,000 people. Did you hear that? You have 4.5 bank branches for every 100,000 people. Wow. And they did not even look into it to consider that they have no sufficient bank that will cater for 220 million people. They never considered they don't have that capacity. But the only thing they do is to move ahead, to seize people's money. People are already suffering. They call it Russia-Ukraine war problem. People does not have petrol. People does not have food. People does not have access to their money, which is the worst case scenario. Have you now seen the reason why that revolution is imminent? Have you now seen the reason why revolution in Nigeria is inevitable? Have you now seen it? Because it is only a blind man, it is only a fool that will not be able to understand that what this government is trying to tell you is do what you can. If you know you can save yourself, do what you can. And you have to do what you have to do to survive. And that is a revolution. There is no other means, no other way you are going to ever help yourself in that British corporation company or British company called Nigeria. You will never help yourself except through revolution. If you are waiting for another Jesus Christ to come from anywhere to come and help you, the way Nigeria is now, no one will be willing to say, no one will be willing. Because if angels come down, they will be corrupted. Just like you know how they are bribing all the ambassadors coming to Nigeria, just for them not to report what you are going through in Nigeria. You know about it. If they send angel there, angels will not make it. Believe you me, that is how bad it is. It is not because I'm exaggerating. It is how bad that place is. It is a hell which you people continue to talk about every day, believing that you will still die and run to the firmament and receive another hellfire. That is the hell you are into today. Except you change the way you think, except you change your approach, you will never get out of that hell. Do you know every day they tell you that people are preaching the word of God? The real word of God is what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu preached to you. That is the reason why he was, they want to kill him. Because preaching the real gospel comes with a price. Not these people preaching so-called word of God, driving, flying private jets, driving different types of car, luxurious cars. It is not the word of God. They are preaching the word of Satan. That is what they are preaching. They are preaching the word of their own. The real word of God sets you free from every predicament. The real word of God sets you free from terrorist attack. The real word of God sets you free from the oppressions of your leaders. That is the real word of freedom. There is no other thing. The reason why you kneel down and pray every day, it is as a result of your bad governance. Bad governance made you to kneel down and pray every day without even your prayer being answered. Yet you continue to pray. If you will ever move towards a right direction, because even that prayer or whatever, the Bible you use to do your prayer said, if a faith without work is dead, so you pray from now to 100 years, your prayer will only remain there with you, because you are praying to the devil who put you in the predicament where you are. Some of you even place his picture in your rooms, in your churches, praying to it, thinking it is going to come for your aid. When he is the one who placed you there, in your predicament, a bastard son of a pope. That is what you are praying to. The Roman Empire, during the rise of Roman Empire, the same rise of Roman Empire, which their empire has existed and gone, you are still praying to that empire to come and help you. Empire that does not exist anymore. You are still praying to them to come and help you. You know, whatever that you are going through today, it is Hail Mary full of grace that will help you. Because what you are doing to yourself, you are not helping your situation. For you to help your situation, you must come to the party to realize that no one is going to do it for you. No government, no human being will transform this problem you have in Nigeria except you being mentally free to understand that this thing we are facing, we are in this together. How can a mentally slaved person try to bring me out of mental slave? Because it is as a result of your mental slaves. Those old hags that you call your leaders, they are mentally slaved. That is the reason why it is says, blind that leadeth the blind will always lead them into the dish. And the dish is where you found yourself today. And you continue to go and do night vigil, fasting, to go and have a better tomorrow. Who is going to grant you a better tomorrow? If not the government of the day. The government will fix the infrastructure so that your car will not somersault. The government will build that road infrastructure so that your car will not hit a pothole and roll. Your government will build a road infrastructure so that a tanker will not fall and explode. Government will build a good infrastructure so that a container full of load will not fall on top of your taxi and smash the whole people in it. It is the government that's supposed to do the right thing, not you praying. God will not come from the sky to build your road for you. God will not come from the sky to build a good hospital for you. God will not come from the sky to build ambulance or establish ambulance for you to be on your roads in case of emergency, so that professional will attend to the scene of accident, not people who does not have the experience. Yet you continue to pray. God does not answer a prayer of a stupid man. God answers a prayer of a calculative person. Faith without work, it is as dead as an old Egyptian mummy that they always parade every day. He is still fresh. Faith without work is as dead as that. The work that you have to do under this, under this horizon, because this is your horizon. There is no other place you are going. This is Nigeria horizon. There is nothing else that you are going to explore. Only explore your mind. Go through a revolution. It is not through a ballot box. Ballot box is not going to help you. The only thing that is going to help you, it is disintegration of that British company called Nigeria. When you disintegrate it, British will now know, henceforth, we don't have that company anymore. This company has actually liquidated. We liquidate that company and we establish a nation. That's the only way you will be able to thrive in this, in this time that you find yourself into. And you can only achieve it through a revolution. If you don't know what a revolution stands for, America had a revolution. America had a revolution. That's why today they are great America today. Russia had a revolution. All these great nations you see today, they had their own revolution. And they had a very, very bloody revolution. Because when you allow all these bloody fools that are actually presiding over the seat or over you in the seat of leadership to continue to do so, you in Nigeria, you will continue to commit suicide. You will continue to die. Container will continue to fall on you. Tanker of petrol will continue to explode. Do you know tanker of petrol is called a bomb? A bomb. It is actually supposed to have its own lane. Most of the developed countries, you will find such, dangerous or abnormal vehicles. They will have their own lane. Because transportation of gas, petrol, fuel, it is like a transportation of a bomb. Any slighted mistake, it will explode. And it is, the explosion is very deadly. You know that. You know that. Yet, you transport petroleum every day with potholes. Not a potholes, with a muddy road. You will see a road that is like this, slopey like this. A tanker with full of explosive. That is a bomb. Will be bent like this, driving on it. Once and a lot causing on around. All these things you see it happening around you. You will believe that you are living. You have been surviving prior to your independence. You have never said to yourself, masses of Nigeria, let us find a way to actually navigate this our problem and solve it, give it a lasting solution. You have never done so. The only thing you continue to do is we are going to vote Igbo presidency. It is no longer the turn of Fulani. No, it is the Yoruba turn. No, now it is Igbo presidency. They are the one. There is nobody, absolutely nobody, that is going to fix Nigeria. I am not saying it for the sake of me being a freedom fighter. I am saying it for the sake of me understanding the problem of Nigeria. As a decolonized person, as African decolonization activist, I understand that the only solution to Nigeria, it is the disintegration of this structure which was implemented by Britain in the business they established called Nigeria. The models of their business, the modeling of their business, it is what is placing you, I, and every other person in that damnable contraption called Nigeria into this mess we find ourselves into. And there is nothing that is going to save you except you make a move and help yourself. Because you voting obedient today, I am not against it, but now the Fulanese are planning on how they will rig election. Britain, European Union are planning on how they will rig your election. Of course, you might not know that. So many of you does not know. When they rig the election, it will become successful to them. Why do you think that there will be somebody, a criminal in Europe, continue to tell you there will be no election in a particular place, instead of saying, we don't want the election anymore, we want a Biafra. Make that campaign, let everybody buy it. He will start actually dictating it for you, trying to send hoping to send criminals to come and kill you. And you will find out those who are going to be, what do you call it? Escaping bullet. It is going to touch you. It is the same people who are grappling, the same fools who will risk their lives to go and actually vote another person who is going to sit there for the sake of sitting there. The wife will be like Aisha Buhari, traveling all over the country, because this is exactly the reason why all of them want to be there. The wife will be pushing, I want to be the first lady, I want to be the first lady. They will be pushing. Then this one will be, I want to be, the first man. I want to be the first citizen. The first citizen. That is the only thing that these people are pushing to go there to do. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Why do you think that Tinubu will be telling you Emilokon? He cannot even remember the line of the speech you want to give, but he continue to tell you Emilokon. You know why? Because he want to be the first citizen. He want to be driving in Nigeria first, private jet. he want to be getting everything for free in Nigeria. The first lady want to be touring the whole world free of charge with taxpayers' money. The same as Atiku. Atiku have so many children. He want to build a generational mod. He already built, but he want to expand it for his children. He told you he has a children. He want to leave something that will be good for them. What is it that a black man who reason like your politicians, they want to leave a lot of money, excess, believing that it does not finish? That's what he want. Because he cannot fix Nigeria. He does not have that wall to fix it. He cannot. Likewise, Peter Obi. Likewise, Emilio is the worst. Sorry for that interruption, and let us finalize the reading, and we'll go into something else because okay, now what was I reading? I was showing you that they actually know that you don't have. That is the reason why they have 100,000 people or the billionaires when they come to the bank, because all these people are the ones the bank they respect. They don't respect you. Facebook kick us out. Facebook has kicked us out again. Facebook. Oh, Facebook. Facebook. Facebook has kicked us out. Let me try to see if I will. No sound. Great and wonderful people of Biafra, sorry for that. I muted myself while trying to connect back on Facebook. Just like you may all know that they kicked us out on Facebook, and I've been trying to connect, and now we are back on Facebook. The next thing they wrote to me right now is that my post graphics goes against community standard. Which post did I make that goes against Facebook for community standard? There is no community standard. I did not show any post or anything that will go against Facebook community standard, but yet they claim that my post goes against community standard. Those of you watching on Facebook, if they kick us out again, kindly go at Judge Money blog, search Judge Money blog Africa on YouTube. You join us there, or you go to Twitter and continue to retweet the video, because Twitter is actually working straight. I have not experienced any problem on Twitter or YouTube. It is always on Facebook. The reason best known to Facebook, it is not actually funny anymore, because what they are doing, it is plain to see. I have a caller, and I don't know if you have anything to contribute. Please come in, use 2 minutes, because I still have a lot to talk about. Come in.
Yes, Mazi George, your voice just came back on YouTube now. That's what I'm just trying to let you know.
All right.
Stand by, Mazi.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right.
But he's back now.
Yes. I actually, when we went off Facebook, when they kick us out of Facebook, I muted the voice. So, but now I believe everything is okay. That's why the comrade is calling to tell me that. So thank you very much for all of you who actually, noticed that. Okay, now in the reading of what I was reading, they say many rush to buy dollar, causing a temporary shortage of the US currency and sending the naira briefly to a record low on the black market. Finance Minister Zainab Ahmed has questioned the policy, arguing that it could weaken the currency and slow economic growth. Of course, it is going to weaken the currency. It is going to bring, the valuation of naira. If care is not taken. You see this shenanigan they have established right now, it can even trigger the devaluation of that printed currency that they have today, because their activities is going to make people to actually start depending on dollar and trading on dollar, where Nigeria naira will be useless, just because, as you know it today, if you have dollar, many people will not see you having a lot of cash in your hands, because Nigeria naira does not hold any value. You have to have one bag of Ghana must go to have 1 million. So if people now transition into using dollar for their transaction, that is automatically the valuation of this your currency called naira. So let us continue, but let me actually bring my advice to you, as those who are watching, who still believe that one Nigeria is going to work. My advice to you right now, it is to tell you that the only thing that will help you out of this conundrum, this shenanigan, it is only through revolution. If you are joining on Facebook, share the video. If we are kicked out of Facebook again, we are not coming back, you go to YouTube and Facebook. If you want to go to YouTube and Twitter. Our Twitter handle is at @JudgeMoneyC, @JudgeMoneyC. You will actually see us there. Or YouTube, you search Judge Money Blog Africa. We will be there. We are not shaking. So let us continue. I am telling you in advance, because they don't give us sign when they will kick us out. They just kick us out. It is their platform. There is no much thing we can do. It is actually the reason why we are fighting for our freedom, because we will be introducing our own platform, which we will be able to use to air our opinion and challenge whatever they have thrown at us. Of course, you know that the mainstream media they use to kill us during 1967 war, the mainstream media they use, because we don't have access to actually tell our side of the story. But this social media that we have access to tell our side of the story, they are using it now against us. They are using the social media to, destroy what we are doing, but it will never stop us. We will continue to, tell our story until it sink in to everybody in the world, because whenever we start our own, nobody will say they did not hear it. Like the video when you join. Click the like button there as you join. So let us continue. I'm going to leave this issue of Naira. I have told you it is only revolution that will help you. Other than that, you must be playing games. You are calling the worst case scenario upon yourself, and it is going to come. So let us go to this issue of Malami. The case of Malami and the response of Malami to Soludo, I believe. Let us go there to that response. There was a response that Malami gave with regards to what Soludo said. Let me bring it to the screen so that we will read it. Pay attention. You saw it. Exclusive. Malami speak on Soludo's request to stand surety for Nnamdi Kanu. Did you hear that? Among every other thing Soludo said, have you now seen which one they have actually picked up that they have to speak about? They have to use as a headline, so that you will understand the reason why we started countering that narrative which they wanted to sell to Nigerians and the world, that they are actually going for to be the Mazen Nnamdi Kanu surety, which is not supposed to be the case of what we are actually expecting, because the court of competent jurisdiction has actually declared this man acquitted, discharged and acquitted since the October. Now he is now being used as political statement. Now look at it. Malami speaks on Soludo's request to stand surety for Nnamdi Kanu. Why is that? Not to release him unconditionally. He didn't see it. Now let's continue. Governor Soludo had called on the federal government to either release Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally or release the IPOB leader to him as a bail surety. Now, we continue. The Attorney General of Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami has reacted to Anambra State Governor Charles Soludo's request to stand a surety for Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB. Mr. Kanu has been leading a separatist campaign for an independent state of Biafra. According to Mr. Kanu, the Biafran Republic would comprise people of Igbo-speaking origin from Nigeria, Southeast, and some part of South-South states. The IPOB leader was first arrested by Nigeria's spy agency. This is laughable. This is laughable. Just delete that one. That is a lie. IPOB leader was kidnapped in Kenya by Nigeria terrorist organization that operates in Kenya. That is exactly what happened. He was not arrested because arrested comes with extradition treaty. Arresting people comes with extradition, process. There was no extradition process. As a result of that, the court of competent jurisdiction discharged and acquitted him because act of terrorism was meted against him, which now will warrant Nigeria to, compensate him with a fine, with a, compensation of I've forgotten the figure, but they have actually compensated him, which is spoken or the order given by the competent court of, jurisdiction in Nigeria to the federal government, who is actually flouting those orders. And they also give a clause that they should send him back where they found him, because technically he is still stationed in Kenya. So now they say that by their spy agencies, by Nigeria spy agencies, in 2015 in Lagos, southwest Nigeria, Mr. Kanu trial on terrorism and treasonable charges has been dismissed by the Court of Appeal in Abuja. The appellate court on 13th of October held that Mr. Kanu's extraordinary rendition to Nigeria from Kenya last June was flagrant violation of Nigeria's extradition treaty and also a breach of his fundamental human rights. The government's action, the court said, invalidated the trial. Now, have you now seen the reason why I said that these people will always report things, according to their own opinion? They bring their own opinion, because if you could say that Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, if a newspaper could say that he was arrested, how can now a newspaper come and contradict again to say the extraordinary rendition? Because anybody who is arrested must go through a extradition process, not extraordinary rendition. A person who is kidnapped goes through extraordinary rendition. Have you now seen how these people put their own opinion and contradict it whenever they are writing rubbish? It looks like it is a gangs of illiterate who write these newspapers. In these newspapers we are reading in Nigeria, sometimes I even find it difficult to actually read what is written in those newspapers, because they don't know where to dot a dot or where to put a question mark or apostrophe or whatever. They don't know where to put it. Now let us continue. The appellate court on the 13th October held that Mr. Kanu's extraordinary rendition to Nigeria from Kenya last June was flagrant violation of Nigeria extradition treaty and also a breach of his fundamental human rights. The government action, the court said, invalidated the trial. Have you now hear? Did you hear it? Validated the trial. Now, the court ordered his release from the custody of the Nigeria Secret Police, State Security Services (SSS). But Mr. Kanu remains in detention while federal government pursue its appeal at the Supreme Court in an effort to have the charges against him restored. How can you possibly have a charges against a man that has been declared not guilty for the sake of violation of his right through extraordinary rendition, kidnapping and extraordinary rendition, violation of international law and treaty of extradition protocols, and yet you are saying you are going back to court to see if they will actually reinstate these charges against him? It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. This is as a result of a nation which it looks like this judicial system was forced to be part of this system of their governance. This judicial system, it looks like it is a force that was forced to Nigeria, because Nigeria want to be practicing anarchy. When police catch a criminal, they kill. Or not actually criminal, because you won't call them a criminal. No court of competent jurisdiction has proven so. They just kill them. Shoot at sight. How long are you going to watch such thing happening to you? And how long are you going to watch your prophet being detained and being killed for no reason? Because how long are we going to fold our arms and watch all these things happening to us? Violation of our human right. Because as in that is the problem we have. It is in Nnamdi Kanu now. None of your politicians are actually making it a mandate. They have all made a political statement. I even see Rochas Okorocha Roger Okorocha made a statement. And I see Ojuzo Kalu, he actually have made another statement to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. All this statement has, I will tell you the reason why I am reflecting on their statements. I'm going to tell you the reason why I am reflecting on their statement. It is very, very important for you to know. Now let me continue to see the response of Malami. Now let's see. Governor Soludo joined the list of the those calling for Mr. Kanu's release during the presidential campaign during presidential campaign flag off of the All Progressive Grand Alliance APGA in Awka, Anambra State on 15 January. Mr. Soludo said if Mr. Kanu cannot be released unconditionally by the Nigeria government, the IPOB leader should be released to him. We are going to make sense of this. Anambra governor requests not before federal government. Okay. Anambra state governor's request not before federal government. Did you see where they put it? They said that the Anambra state governor's request, it is not before federal government, which means they are expecting this Anambra state government to table a written request to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu for him to stand a surety. Have you now seen the reason why, we call that a narrative? They now requesting that the Anambra state governor request is not actually been tabled to the government of the day. That it was just a verbal, statement. Now let us continue. In an exclusive interview with Premium Times on Wednesday, the Attorney General said he was not in receipt of Mr. Soludo's request. Are you hearing it? Are you hearing the way they want to release our leader? That they want that request of Soludo to come to the table of the Attorney General. Okay, let me continue. There is no such request formally before the federal government or the judicial process. As of today, being 18th January 2023, which was then last month, I am not in receipt of any application arising from the public statement made by the governor of Anambra State, Chukwuma Charles Soludo, either through the judicial process or extended to me as the Attorney General of the Federation, Malami said. Mr. Malami, a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, in a bracket, explained that when a matter is pending before the court, the right channel through which any request or perhaps concession can be presented for consideration is through the judicial process. Okay. Through judicial process. He added that the renewed call for Mr. Kanu's release has not been invoked formally for the consideration of the Attorney General. Mr. Kanu was facing terrorism charges before Binta Nyako of the Federal Court in Abuja and was granted bail in 2017. But the Nigeria Army on 14th September 2017 invaded the IPOB leaders' Afaruku home near Umuahia, Abia State, during which 18 civilians were killed. We said it is 28, not 18. Please, the writer should correct it. At least you wrote something that is very, very objective for the first time. Very, very objective, but you see, instead of writing 2 behind 8, you write 1 behind 8 to reduce the number. It was 28 people that was killed. So let us continue. Michael Zokome, Mr. Kanu's lawyer, said during a court session, due to invasion, Mr. Kanu fled country, prompting Mr. Nyako the trial judge to issue a warrant of arrest for the IPOB leader. One of Mr. Kano's lawyer, Aloy Ejimako, described the IPOB leader escape during the invasion as the rule of self-preservation, but Mrs. Nyako revoked Mr. Kano's bail for abandoning his trial and ordered his trial to be separated from the rest of the co-defendants, which is Mazi Benjamin Madubugu and among others, which was arrested then. While the trial of the rest defendant has made some progress, Mr. Kano's has been stalled since 2017. Now, let me see. Okay, hold on. So let me see what this headline say. I will be his surety. Okay, now the headline of this surety has come again. Soludo say, I will be his surety. Soludo begs Nigeria government to release Nnamdi Kanu. After nearly 4 years abroad, on 29 June 2021, Mr. Malami, in the company with the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, and SSS official, announced Mr. Kanu's arrest and repatriation from Kenya to Nigeria. Lies. There is nothing like arrest and repatriation. He was subsequently rearraigned before Mr. Nyako on the 15-count terrorism and the treasonable felony charges, but the judge in April 2021 struck out 8 of the charges after the IPOB leader challenged their validity. The separatist leader went on the count of appeal, seeking to quash the remaining 7 counts in unanimous judgment last October. The Court of Appeal panel held that the Nigeria government breached local and international law in the forcible rendition of Mr. Kanu to Nigeria. It said that IPOB leader's illegal repatriation to Nigeria renders the terrorism charges against him incompetent and unlawful. Mr. Kanu, who was brought back to Nigeria last year, is being held by SSS in its facility in Abuja, Nigeria capital. Nigeria Supreme Court has yet to fix date for the hearing of the federal government appeal challenging the Court of Appeal decision ordering the IPOB leader release. Now, why are they not actually challenging, or the appeal court not coming to the party? Do you know why? The appeal court cannot come to the party because the federal government is no longer pushing the case. Federal government is tired. They know that they are, fighting a lost battle. That is what you have seen here. I don't need to continue to read these things. But what I am going to show you here, tell you here in this paragraph, where it says that the Anambra State governor requests not before federal government, they are looking for a way of off-ramp to make sure that they don't feel defeated. Because Nigeria, the only thing they don't want to hear or see is that they were defeated in their court. That is, as a result, they are now looking for a way to find somebody who will give them that off-ramp in order to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to continue to be in their control. That is exactly what they are looking for. They want him to continue to be in their control. They want to continue to control his movement. That is the reason why when this call was made, for people saying they want to stand surety, I told you it was a narrative that is being pushed out there. If the legal team see it to be a good means of escape for this Nigeria to escape from this case, or for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to at least have his medical checkup done, I don't have a problem as long as that man get his freedom and get well. Go for his medical checkup. But the court of competent jurisdiction has set him free. If they want to actually, release him, they will not be looking for a way to release him while being in control of his life. But now that is what they are looking for. That's why they have told people to push that narrative, see if people are going to buy it. But it is up to the legal team to decide. It is up to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to decide exactly what he wants. Because I believe and I know that our legal team, they are listening. It is up to them to decide what is best. Because I believe also, if they release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu with using a surety, it means that there will be bail conditions. It means that they are nullifying the decision of appellate court. I don't know, maybe Nigeria will do it differently, or maybe it will mean that, we have accepted that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was guilty. We have accepted that the court of competent jurisdiction who ruled the case in favor of us, that they are compromised. That is exactly what I am seeing here. That's exactly what I am seeing here. Because that's what the narrative they are pushing. They are not even willing to go to appeal court. Nigeria is not willing to go to appeal court. Probably the judge in the appeal court must have told them that this is a failed case. You cannot win this case. You stall it, you actually start wasting the time on this case. But now, you are still in violation of the right of this man. This man is critically ill. You people are food poisoning him every day. That his medical condition, is exacerbated instead of getting better. Now he will need his special medical care. He will need his special medical doctor. So that is the reason why we are calling on the international community. Because, to be honest with you, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is critically ill. It is no joke. He is critically ill. It is no joke. Regardless of the statement made by the lawyer, which there were some conflict of interest in that statement, there were some statements made to actually favor some group that the lawyer might be affiliated with and their activities. So in this regard, I can assure you categorically that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is critically ill. He is. It is not a joke. And I don't know if there is anything that this DSS is planning to help Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in order to regain or to get a medical attention. I don't know. But these things are up to our, lead counsel, legal team to actually come to tell us. Because in this regard, all this, the reason why you see different messages from different people, it is as a result of conflict of interest. It is as a result of cabals. Canon Takano cabals. There is this criminal syndicate cabals, autopilot. Some of these baby lawyers, they are affiliated to different groups depending on the one that is giving them money. So sometimes they will report what is going to promote such group in a way, instead of actually directing the message to the appropriate channel, so that that appropriate channel will know how to bring that message. They will report it in a way that it is going to exacerbate the state of confusion where some of you are already in. That is the reason why it is very important we get our message from the lead counsel. From the lead counsel. Because these people, they don't have, time for all these criminals and all these, people who call themselves family. They don't have time for all these people. They are not affiliated with any group. They are doing their job as professional. They are not trying to make a name for themselves. They already have a name. That is the reason why we will get our all unadulterated information from them. So it is very, very important. But the fact is that our leader is sick. Our leader is ill. And something, must be done about it, because this DSS you see today, they don't care. They don't care about anybody. They don't care about anybody. I can assure you that they only care about themselves. They only care about their opinion and what they want. That's the only thing they care about. So, in this regard, we will actually leave it here. But the information for them to be asking Soludo to tender this, your request, through a legal process, or tender it through, to the Attorney General, it is a message. He sent out a very, very important message for you to know. This is a narrative they are pushing. This is a way for the government of the day to off-ramp in this conundrum they have found themselves into. And it is not, I don't know if it is a good business for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu or a good deal. I don't know what it is. It is up for the legal team to decide, and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu himself. But I believe that if Soludo or whoever that has been selling their narrative have to write to them in the name that he is going to be a surety with inverted comma, they will be releasing our leader, because that is the off-ramp they are looking for. But we will find out about that. And I don't know, some of you might want to call to talk about it, or we'll tell you when we open the line. Maybe you will call to talk about it if you still have time, because I don't think we have a lot of time at our disposal. So another thing we have in our hands is actually what do we have here? Let me find out what we are. Okay, there is something that I am seeing here. This is indictment, or the question that was thrown at Malami. I don't know if you are seeing this. I don't know if you are seeing it. So this is, let me read. We are done on that. If we will deliberate on that further, you can actually write on the comment section, but I can only see your comment on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, if you are watching on Judge Money blog, I can see that comment on Judge Money blog. I can see it, but on YouTube, I can see on YouTube. And on Twitter, I don't think. Okay, on Twitter, Can be reached. Okay, on Twitter it is not actually loading my chat. It is not loading my chat on Twitter. So I can see on YouTube, Judge Money Blog Africa. I can see on Facebook a Judge Money Blog. So if you make that comment there, I will be able to see it. All right, let us go to the next topic, which says that Malami, which indict Malami activity. This is it. You see, this is Malami. He says, ask Malami about sale of 48 million barrels of crude oil. Interpol tells reps. Interpol tells reps. Now, just one moment. Let's read. The head of the National Central Bureau (NCB) in bracket of the International Criminal Police Organization Interpol, Garba Baba Umar, says the House of Representatives should direct inquiries. Dude, the noise. To direct the inquiries over the alleged loss of over $2.4 billion from the illegal sale of 48 million barrels of crude oil in 2015 to the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. He said this when he appeared before the House of Ad Hoc Committee investigating the matter. The committee is also probing crude oil export from 2014 to date. Now, I am actually not going to, the committee was questioning the Interpol boss for going after whistleblowers who exposed the alleged illegal sale of 48 million barrels of Nigeria Bonny Light crude in China in 2015, estimated at $2.4 billion after they approached the House to expose the deal. Okay. Umar said they were after the whistleblower following a petition from the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation to investigate the activities of some Nigerians and foreign nationals involved in blackmail and the extortion of government functionaries using forged documents to gain access to government institutions and to carry out fraudulent activities. Umar said this is to inform the committee that Interpol is not investigating a new case. The Office of Attorney General of Federation only seek Interpol assistance by using Interpol tools to arrest the fugitive who has since flown out of the country in order to escape justice. In order to escape justice, it is our kindly advice that all inquiries into this case can be directed to the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and the competent court of law that is handling the matter. Okay, this is actually the report. I think I have actually read this report before of such people who sold the amount of oil, 48 million barrels of oil, and they actually disappeared, without the knowledge of Nigerians. They sold it, they ate the money, they never ever, remitted the money, and they ended up going after the whistleblower instead of going after the perpetrators. That is what you read here. They end up going after the whistleblower, the person who exposed the secret. They end up actually going after them, which gave the perpetrator time to run away. And now they are claiming they are using the Interpol. They are using the Interpol in order to, get those perpetrators or the so-called fugitives to come and answer for their crime. Now you have people who committed a crime. Instead of going after people who committed a crime, you went after whistleblower. Will that not give this, people time? I hope we are still coming on Facebook. I don't know, it looks like. Okay, we are. Now giving the perpetrator time to run away. Now you are using whistleblowers. You are using Interpol. Interpol to look for this same perpetrator. After intimidating the whistleblower, after making life very difficult for the whistleblower, you are using that. Now the time, of course, you don't know how much was handed over to Malami. You don't know. That is the reason why the Interpol say, if you want to acquire any information about this, you should go and ask Malami. Because they don't know what to say anymore. Ask Malami about the sale of 48 million barrels of crude oil. Interpol tells reps. Because Malami knows the reason why he went after the whistleblower. I hope you know what is the whistleblower. Whistleblower is the person who exposed that secret business. They went after him. They started investigating him. Instead of taking a swift action against the criminal, who must have bribed the Interpol, who must have bribed even Malami administration, because 48 million barrels of oil, it talks about how many billion dollars. Let's see it. $2.4 billion. It is, if you give Malami like $500 million, he will leave you and start dealing with the whistleblower. If you give Garba, whoever that is, Garba Baba Omar, which is the Interpol, and I believe is the leader of the Interpol, he will, turn against the person who sold out, who actually brought this information to the public. That is the reason why they left it and they started investigating the whistleblower instead of investigating the crime itself. And at the end of the day, the perpetrator had time to escape the country. When you know that wherever the perpetrator, of course, is in government, they know the countries that Nigeria does not have, extradition treaty with. He will go there. By the time you will finish your extradition process, he must have bribed everybody who will be able to get to him, and the case is closed. The next administration will come in. That case is closed. That is exactly why they have been stalling the case since 2015. Up until now, there is no good result has been acquired from that case, but only the case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to go and kidnap him was as easy as ABC, according to these people. Did you see it? See where I am talking about? The committee, because so many of you might think I'm exaggerating. I am not exaggerating. Look at it. The highlighted areas. Let me bring it closer. Are you able to read it? That is where I am actually talking about. It says the committee questioned the whistleblower. Sorry. The committee was questioning the Interpol boss for going after whistleblower who exposed the alleged illegal sale of 48 million barrels of Nigeria Bonny Light crude in China. Why did they go after the whistleblower? They were after the whistleblower. Listen to what the Interpol say. They were after the whistleblower following the petition from the Office of the Attorney General of Federation to investigate the activities of some Nigerians and foreign nationals involved in blackmailing and extortion. It means that he called the information coming out from the whistleblower a blackmail, which gave a lifeline to the perpetrators to escape. Then the whistleblower probably, you don't know if he is still alive today. You never know. That is Nigeria we are talking about. Have you now seen how the life of this whistleblower ended up being investigated instead of the crime that he blew the whistle on being investigated? It is a pity. Nigeria is a place where they punish innocent people while negotiating with criminals. Have you now seen the result of it, the outcome of it? It never started today. It has been there. It has been there. You know this story of if a rich man do something wrong to you, you call police for that rich man. The rich man will now give police money. Tell police, go after this man who called you to arrest me. Go and arrest him, put him in the jail, throw away the key. It happens in Nigeria. That is the same thing you are seeing today. That is what you have seen in this piece that we have just read. It is the same story. Because this government and their activities, they are playing a very, very dangerous game that will never ever work in favor of anybody who dwells in Nigeria, and this will continue. It is not a game of individual. These individuals are just a willing tools. And this game, it is a game that is already established in the system. They will continue to play with you. It does not matter the game they play with you. All that matters is that those who introduce and establish that system for you will continue to benefit, because all these people, they only want cash. You know this, your politicians, what they are looking for is paper. They're looking for paper. While the people, the establishers of those systems, they are looking for raw material, because raw materials have more benefit than paper. But your blind leaders who lead you from a blind spot, they are looking for cash, paper, and fame, fortune. They don't care about you. None of them will ever do. That is exactly what you see, and it is what you are going to get. Because in Nigeria, there is nothing that you will get in Nigeria that is going to, favor you as an individual who is not found in a political space. It is only those who are found in a political space that the things that is happening there in the zoo might actually favor. Those are the ones it is going to favor. Now we have something else that I am going to show you, but we are going to talk about
will Nigeria ever be free from corruption?
Are you playing?
Mirrors they never lie.
Will Nigeria ever be free from corruption?
This is exactly
You're always watching me fall. Shadows they like my wall.
Okay. When will Nigeria be free from corruption? After this presidential
this
election.
is one of the things
In 10 years' time. In 20 years' time. Nigeria will be free from corruption when the world
We'll
ends.
talk about it.
We mean say Nigeria go free from corruption where everybody don't tell me, where everybody don't die, when the world don't end.
All right, this comedy, it is a comedy, but you know, it is very, very, you know, interesting. It's very, very interesting. It is a comedy, but very, very interesting. And what you are seeing actually is exactly how it is. Nigeria will never be well. Nigeria will never be fixed. It will never be fixed until thy kingdom come. The reason why it will never be fixed is because the same people you people are rolling, bringing into the seat of power, they are the same people year after year. Soon their children will grow up and they will still be your leaders. These are the same people. They will never ever try to think of anything that will enable you to thrive, that will help you to grow. They will never. Just like you have seen. Just like you have seen. Just like I said that the Supreme Court challenged the date, the deadline date of your money, of this new Naira, exchange. Attorney General said that the Supreme Court cannot, their order of Supreme Court is null and void. Attorney General is actually making the justice system not work for the ordinary people, rather making the justice system to only work in the favor of the criminals, in the favor of politicians, in the favor of the rich people. So if you continue to allow yourself thinking that somebody is there to do it for you, you are indeed fooling yourself, because nobody is there to do it for you. Now another statement made. This is premium time. It said the fact that he is doing 70% in Anambra State does not mean somebody doing 10% in Kano is not better than him. Kano is 4 million votes, and the number of votes in Anambra is the size of one local government in Kaduna State, Erufai to Peter Obi. Let me bring it to you. Let me bring it to you, because when I tell you that election rigging is in the process, and when I tell you that those who are trying to give them a water their ground to rig election in Nigeria, those are actually the ones that will continue to clamor no election, this and that. Whether there is election or not, it will never stop us from what we are doing. You don't want them to say it is because of you, because the election is bound to be rigged. The Europeans are going to help them to rig this election. Now listen to it, because they are looking for the best candidate for their business. Have you seen it? I don't want to open it and start reading it. Peter Obi will win southeastern states. South, where else? he is not pulling well in the southwest other than a drop in the ocean in Lagos. That's what Erufai said. For those of you who are obedience, now they have said APC 8 years. Okay, somebody who was responding to the tweet said APC 2015 dollar was 190. Today dollar is 740. Wow. This is exactly, let me be honest with you. Just like you heard Atiku said, I was trying to analyze that video, but because it was written, it was a video from BBC. That was the reason why Facebook kicked us out immediately when we played that video, trying to analyze it. It is the same thing that is playing out right now. Atiku said that those people who are called obedient, they are nowhere to be found in Nigeria political space. Their party is not rooted in Nigeria politics. So, therefore, they are not a threat. And he was bold and confident when he was referring to that. He said that Nigeria should vote APC out. Of course, in a blind man could see that APC have come to actually conquer the indigenous people. APC is trying all it can to conquer the indigenous people. And the real reason why they have taken your currency away, they are trying to control the cash flow, the flow of money around you. It is because of the colonization that is coming in this 2023. And it is also to find a way to push this election or to postpone this election. That is exactly what these people are planning on doing. So if you fold your arms, or if you are in a river and the soap will still burn your eyes, it means you are a coward. They are calling you, they are giving you opportunity, they are giving you a lifeline for you to come out there, for you to start campaigning, for you to start calling for revolution, because it is the only thing that is going to save you in this shenanigan that you find yourself into. There is nothing else that is going to save you except a revolution, except you gather yourself and say enough is enough. Gather yourself and you can even march and make sure that nobody, you don't want this political process anymore because it never helped you. I have come to the point where Facebook is going to kick me out. I am coming to that point where Facebook is going to kick me out. But in advance, if they kick you out, go to YouTube. In advance, if they kick you out, if YouTube is not working, you go to Twitter. Our Twitter is no shaking. I believe they have actually started attacking the YouTube as well. But if they kick you out wherever you are, you go to the next one. We have different options. That is the reason why when we come online with different options, so that when they kick you out, you will have another option to explore. But in this regard, I want you to know that it is only through revolution, not going to jump off the cliff, that is going to help you to kill yourself or commit suicide. It is not going to help you. Whatever that is happening, it is affecting everybody in Nigeria. It is except the political class, which is the reason why they claim they are actually doing what they are doing, but it end up hurting those who has been on the receiving end of this political corruption. They end up hunting them. Your life and your future in Nigeria is in a limbo. You cannot predict what Nigeria will give you the next day. You cannot predict what Buhari will come out, or Buhari body double will come out to tell you tomorrow. It is all about you catering for yourself. It is all about you trying to walk in that footstep that is going to put food on your table, that is going to change the future, the future of your children. And if you don't start now, you might never finish. Because whatever they are planning to do to impoverish you, to bring Islamization, you will have no choice. You will have no money to buy anything to defend yourself. You will have no money to put any plans to defend yourself. That is the reason why they have taken your money away from you. You might be thinking it is as a result of trying to favor the bank or bring the money into the economy. Why did Buhari not do that? Since 2015, he assumed the office of a president. He never did it. Why did they not bring up this initiative since they assumed the office of a president? He didn't introduce this initiative. Only all of a sudden, they started now want to go. We are changing the color of their currency. After changing the color of your currency, we are going to actually not only changing the color of your currency, we are going to implement, it within the short period of time, claiming they want to use it to curb the menace of terrorist attack. It is a lie. It is actually to impoverish you, to make you poor, so that when Fulani, Islamization, jihadism, whatever-ism that they want to inflict on you, when it is coming, you will have no ground to do anything. Because these things that they are doing, had it been they did it long before now, you might not encounter many all these things that you are encountering now. But they are doing it at the end of Fulani regime, where they are uncertain whether they are going to come back to the position where they are occupying as Fulani rulers of Nigeria. When they will continue their feudalism. As a result of them practicing feudalism, they have to implement this thing now, so that you will not have that financial support that will enable you to stand up to defend yourself or defend your land. The only way you can do it right now, because no nation will be taken over during a revolution period. If you set up a revolution, they will not take you over. If they postpone the election, you will know that your revolution is doing something. If you did not start a revolution and they postpone the election, you will know that what they are planning, they want to bring it. They want to use it to scuttle the chances of Igbo presidency. Because if you check the statistics right now, forget about this, their stupid political sentiment. If you check the statistics, you will find out that the Igbo presidency is leading in every area of Nigeria. Because people are tired of what they are used to. They want to try new thing now, but they do not know that trying new thing will never come through a political process or through placing a new person into the same system that has been implemented to impoverish the black nation, or that has been implemented to marginalize ordinary people. A black man will always look for his solution where there is no solution. The only solution you have in that Nigeria is the disintegration. We are not telling you to disintegrate Nigeria and separate it. I am my household. IPOB, Biafrans, we are ready to go our separate ways. But disintegration of Nigeria, it is going to free a Fulani, a good Fulani man who want to do a good thing to survive. A good Fulani man who is upright. Disintegration of Nigeria is going to help you. A good Hausa man who is upright. Disintegration of Nigeria is going to help you and your future and your children. A good Yoruba man. Disintegration of Nigeria is going to help you and your children. A good Igbo man. Disintegration of Nigeria, it is a task that must be done. Because the unification of our people is the greatest thing that will happen to us. Unification of our people and bringing them under one umbrella, and we become our ruler of ourselves, without being led by the gangs of thieves or gangs of reprobates. It is something that we must do. It is non-negotiable. We must be able to control what happens to our lives. We are not Muslim affiliated. We are not, we are not even Christian. But maybe we can actually say that our land will be Jew land. We can say that our land is going to be Christian nation. We can say our land is going to be this or that. As long as we are going to have a monoculturalism, not a multiculturalism, which Nigeria have found themselves under the British, oligarchy, that will never enable those who dwell in it to thrive. That will never enable you as a common man on the ground to ever have a free lunch in that place. Your revolution will do a lot. Instead of going to the polling unit, revolution you start there. As a result of them taking your currency, it is going to save you from Fulani invasion, from Fulani army of conquest, because they are doing this now. If you start damaging the banks only, let me warn you, what they are doing, you start damaging the banks now. Instead of organizing yourselves, you are damaging the banks. They might declare a state of emergency and they will start shooting you like an animal. When they declare state of emergency, they will now bring in Fulani army. Fulani terrorists, they will be flooding all over Nigeria, because this thing they are doing, it is, everywhere in Nigeria is involved. No place is different, because this is total power shift that they want to have. They want to have a power shift to the Fulani Caliphate. They want to Islamize you. They want to introduce Sharia law. That is the reason why last year you heard them teaching your people how to read Quran. Have you ever seen in any country where you are a Muslim people coming down to teach Christians how to read Quran? Instead of Christians teaching each other how to read Bible, they were teaching you how to read Quran. Today now they want to install Emir of Aba. They want to install their Emir in Aba. And the way they are going to sell this stupid narrative to you, for you to buy it, is that you have a Zendibo in Ghana, that you have a Zendibo in Onitsha, you have a Zendibo there. That is how they will now confuse the narrative. You have a Zendibo with no interest of actually taking over the people's land, or no interest of emasculating people, or taking over their, their lives. You answer as Zendibo in Akara because you believe you have had money to answer it. That is Igwa. They just, it is Igwa you ichilo mwegi. It does not have any value to our ordinana. But whatever emir these people establish, it is rooted to their ways. It is rooted in their own, culture. It is not being established as if the sake of that man has gathered all his money, or he is a rich man that wants a title of emir. No. In Alibo, our people, they answer Ezendibo na Ghana, Ezendibo na Canada, Ezendibo na US. It is a title they possess because they believe they have had money. They have money to do so. But when it comes to Fulani Emirates, once they start introducing Emirate to you, that means that takeover is coming. It will start like a joke. It will start like a play. It is not a joke. if Okezi Bazu, I believe is he the governor of Imo State, Abia State. Okezi Bazu. Aba is in Abia State. Is he the governor of Abia State? If he allows such a thing to happen, you must know that Okezi Bazu is also a suspect. But I see he was reacting to it. He was reacting to it as if he is not aware of how, what is happening. He was reacting to it. Okezi Bazu. I think I am having flu now. So in this regard, you should be able to understand and know fully well that what they are planning, they are taking it one step at a time. Maybe you will be considering P2B election 2023 Igbo presidency. It will take you by surprise because they are confusing you. They use Igbo presidency to confuse the struggle. They use Igbo presidency to take your mind away from the struggle. Because our people, the problem you have is that you have never been resolute enough to stand in the ground of what you are looking for and make sure you achieve it before you will actually think of another thing. Once. That is the problem of our people. And that problem is what is consuming you. That issue is what is destroying our people, dividing you. I wish I had time to actually read this, to actually, teach about this, where is it? About this. For you to understand the importance of you coming together, the importance of you going back to whom you were. And it can only happen in Biafra land. God created you, gave you a name, through which he is praised, gave you your own ways of lives. You live it. You embrace others. Now Fulani is trying to bring another one because they know your consciousness is now fast awakening. For you to actually, if you go back to what you were, it is the only way you can defeat every forces in this world that is fighting you. It is going back to what you were. That is the reason why they are trying as their best to make sure they conquer you. The cash flow that they have seized today, you will start seeing the result. You will start seeing the result in 2 weeks' time. The result of what they are planning to do to you. You will start seeing the result. But that emir they are trying to install in Aba, resist it any means in any way possible. You must resist it. We have never gone to Hausa land and be answering Igwe Ndibo, and at the end of the day we make a decision. No. At the end of the day we start discriminating. This is Igwe Ndibo, Ordinana Ndibo. We must start doing Ordinana Ndibo in this area. No. Wherever you go, we respect ourselves. Igwe Ndibo is not rooted in Ordinana Ndibo. It is not our culture. It is not rooted in our culture that if you have money you answer as Ndibo. That is a title people give to themselves. But whenever you see something called emir, they don't play with it. They don't play with it. That is the reason why from the beginning I played this voice of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, where he told you that how Yoruba people, instead of having Oba of Ilorin, Yoruba people are having emir. Where Lai Mohammed come from? The people who were actually, Fulani blood. Ilorin, they have emir. They don't smile when it comes to their emir. They don't smile. It is not rooted in titleship. It is rooted in their religion. Emirate. Emir is not a joke. They are actually the king. That is a process of conquering a place, a particular place in a society. Once they install their emir, the next thing you will find the caliphate trooping into that place to form a community. From forming a community, emir of this community, from there they start expanding. And remember that they only believe that they can only expand through their religion through conquest and war. They call it the Holy War. It is what they are trying to bring upon you. And you might be seeing that everywhere, maybe you are not noticing. But I still see so many people who were killed, butchered by Hausa. Are they saying it's Hausa or is it Fulani? You don't know who is who. You do not know who is who. These are the things you should understand. They are in your soil. That is the reason why they have the audacity to say they want to install their emir. From Aba, the biggest area. Aba no they carry last. You people from Aba allow some emir coronation in your Aba where no they carry last. If this thing is truth, that means the conquest will start from the Holy Land of Aba. The conquest will start from the Holy Land of Aba. In the city of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Let me play this again for you to hear. Because you people don't like, you don't have ears to listen. Let me play it so that you will understand the formation they are playing. Listen to this.
Will be taken from you. The more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. All of you never knew that IPOB and this Biafra movement was for your liberation. Some of you saw maybe the oil and gas from Biafra land. If they go now, we'll have access to oil and gas. In the process of having your eyes fixated on oil and gas, your forest is gone. Do you understand it? Every Yoruba person supporting Fulani, you are setting up yourself to become like the Hausa people. Remember when Hausa was supporting Fulani? We are Hausa Fulani. We are Hausa Fulani. Where are the Hausa people today? I ask you. Where are those Hausa people today? Do you see them anymore? They're saying we are Hausa Fulani. We are Hausa Fulani. Do you see them again today? Do you see them? I'm asking you. No. Because Fulani have completely overwhelmed them. It's called emasculation. Completely emasculated them. Look at what they're doing in the East. In the East, they come to the East, I will tell you, oh, you want to be the president or vice? Yeah. They say, give us land for Ruga. They give them land. I saw Joseph Okado did that Lord Banta. They have taken it over in forever and ever. Give us land in your state. Hope of them are proof to us that you are stood. Give us land in Olo. Hope of them will give them land in Olo. We can go and kill people in Obibo. We can kill for them. How many Fulani governors are prepared to kill bandits? I didn't say normal people. I'm talking about armed, dangerous bandits. How many Fulani governors? Go and read your newspapers, you will see it there. Fulani governors are negotiating with them, giving them arms, giving them vehicles, making sure that their life is no longer a misery. But see, they come down to the south. They tell you, give us land for Ruga. Go and kill your people to prove to us that you're one Nigerian. That was why Obioso was talking rubbish. Was was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Supported by the BBC. The problem you people have in Nigeria is this. Your journalists, you see people, Punch newspaper, Tribune, Vanguard, and Nation, they are your second worst enemies. I'm telling you the truth. They can never ever be objective in their reportage. Never ever ever. That's why all of you are suffering. But you don't know it. They were the same people used to scuttle the NSAS protest. Of course, some of you went about looking for Indomie in warehouses. Typical black people. Any revolution that is coming now, you must stand very firm. They'll say, oh, you're Igbo. Oh, you're Yoruba. Oh, you are from Europe. Don't join them. It's our turn in 2023. If you do this, you will scuttle our chances of becoming the president in 2023. Ask yourself, all of them that have been president from time immemorial, what benefit has it brought to you as a human being? Absolutely nothing. So you have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. You look at them now, how they have now descended on Yoruba people, asking them to concede, give us your forest, we must graze, we must do this, we must do that. And slowly before your eyes, they are giving in, they are capitulating, they are allowing them to go, if you don't give it to us, so Tinubu will not be president in 2023. Tinubu won't be the president. That's what I'm saying to you. And foolishly you will agree and hand over your land to them. And once they take your land over from you, look at Hausa. Because there is a saying where we come from. If you want to know what your life is going to become in the future, look at Hausa people. If you want to understand or appreciate, I will say, the life that you are about to bequeath to your children and grandchildren, look at Hausa people. Is there any Hausa governor today? Is there any Hausa emir? Is their land though? Katsina is Hausa land. Kanu is Hausa land. Sokoto is Hausa land. The Hausa people own it, indigenous to those areas. I'm asking you this question. Is there any Hausa man who is an emir in the north? The answer is no. Something's going to happen to you. If you don't rise up now to break, I'm not even asking people to break this, you demand for what rightfully belongs to you, your freedom. The same way that you, the freedom to decide. The freedom to write a constitution if you prefer. The freedom to live with whoever you want to live with. That is what we are asking for. But most people misunderstood what we are saying. And today, almost everything we have said about the zoo has come to pass. Everything we have told you, everything I told you has come to pass, hasn't it? Everything. And some people are still questioning and arguing. They said, Fulani will resist by all means necessary, including armed resistance, any attempt to forcefully eject them from the forest. Yoruba, you must ask yourself this question. When we were pursuing them from Ebonyi, why didn't they say something about ESN on Nnamdi Kanu? Why? Have you asked yourself that question? Because they know we are prepared to die to defend our land. They understand that very well. That is the only language the Fulani understand. You cannot say to Fulani, oh, let us have a Fulani president, and after that all will be well. Never, ever, ever. They will continue to expand. They will continue to identify idiots in your midst, traitors, saboteurs in your midst. They will promise them heaven and earth. They will give them anything they ask for in order to ensure that they get into you, they subjugate you. Look at Yoruba and the Ilorin. Yoruba, how did you lose a Ilorin? You lost a Ilorin because somebody thought or felt that by aligning himself with what he felt was a superior Fulani force, he can defeat his own people. Afonja, what happened? As a result of that miscalculation, the great Yoruba race lost a Ilorin to Fulani Caliphate. That is why in a Ilorin you have an emir of a Ilorin, not an Oba of a Ilorin, answerable to Sokoto. That is where Laima.
Did you hear that? You have an emir of a Ilorin, not Oba of a Ilorin, answerable to Sokoto. So if they have to install an emirate, emir in Aba, that he will be answerable to Sokoto Caliphate. Now from Sokoto, many things are going to be trooping in Aba. They will be taking you people out community by community, community by community. Next thing, you will find another place they are going to install their emir. Because once they install the emir, it is as a result of a conquered nation or conquered area. Once they install their emir, it is as a result of being in full control of that area. And that is exactly what these people are trying to do in Aba. If you don't resist it in every means possible, hey, if you don't resist that rubbish at every means possible, it will be like, had I know. Why are they implementing all these things? Both teaching of Quran, immediately after they capture Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That was when they started teaching people Quran. Now they have introduced, because they did that. Nobody, I believe, stopped them. Now they want to introduce to you. They are trying to introduce to you Emir in Aba. The next thing you will have Emir in Onitsha. And when you ask them, they say you crown you as Ndibo in Alaba. Are you answerable to anybody if you become as Ndibo in Alaba? Are you answerable to anybody? No. That is what makes you different. You are as Ndibo in your pocket. But them, they are Emir answerable to Sokoto Caliphate. It is rooted in their culture, in their religion. That is a sign of conquered area. They will come to conquer you. You will continue to be shouting P2B, P2B. You will believe that P2B 8 years will touch on all these things. Listen to what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said. I know that this will stir up a lot of, fools to talk rubbish. But it is very, very necessary we listen to it. Listen, because those of you, every time you need to understand the history. History is very important in everything you do before you will engage in any other thing that you want to engage yourself into, because you need to know your fault from the beginning, from the of old. Listen.
Used Okadibo to rubbish Zeke. I remember Okadibo in MPN calling Zeke a mosquito, or the rant of a mosquito, whatever. The same people killed Chuba Okadibo. A very brilliant mind, once again. More recently, they now use the same criminals, now clamoring for Igbo presidency. You see them not, Igbo presidency, Igbo presidency. You think they have something upstairs. They have nothing upstairs. All of them. Omahi wants Igbo. Omahi, yes. He wants Igbo presidency. Oh, Ocho Carlo, you want Igbo presidency. Oh, maybe even Nwobodo, you want Igbo presidency? Yes. Now let me ask you a question. When Ekwueme came out to contest in 1999 Igbo presidency, what did he do in Jos, Ojo Carlo? You betrayed Ekwueme. You voted for Obasanjo. Jos PDP convention in 1999. So that time, Igbo presidency wasn't good. Or wasn't good enough. It's now that you want it, yes? And now let us go to Dave Umahi. Your own brother Peter Obi who contested with Atiku under your own political party. You were in PDP, but you delivered Ebonyi State to APC against your own brother. Now you want to contest because you felt that should Peter Obi go and succeed and become VP to Atiku, after 8 years or thereabout, or after 4 years, Peter Obi will naturally succeed.
The funny part of this, what you are listening to now, when you are listening to it, it will feel like it is now. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu just made this broadcast yesterday. For you to understand all the things that he has been saying, it is all about future, what is coming. That's why you will feel like this is what the broadcast he made yesterday. Listen to it.
And become the president of the zoo, thereby spoiling your own chances. What did you do? What did you do, I ask? You campaigned against your own brother, against your own fellow Igbo brother. Now you're talking about Igbo presidency. I just want to prove to the world that these people are just criminals, a gang of thieves, all of them. Augie Zakalo, after campaigning against Ekwueme, all of them. Do you know that the entire PDP caucus from the East never voted for Ekwueme? So they were asking themselves, how come your own brothers don't want to vote for you? Or Joseph Carlo was there. Some people are championing, yeah, he should be the president. But Ekwueme served Shagari very well. Never stole a dime. In fact, bankrolled MPN. He was a multimillionaire and is very successful architect in the USA before he came back. Very wealthy man. Ekwueme. Ojo Zokalo, did you vote for Ekwueme in 1999? Now that you're campaigning for Igbo presidency, was Ekwueme running for Ibira presidency? Therefore, Igbo presidency is our turn. When your brother Peter Obi was campaigning, did you campaign for him? Did you vote for him? Despite the fact that he is your brother in the same political party. That is why all this your nonsensical Igbo presidency is dead on arrival. When we were doing Biafra, did you support anybody? Instead, you call the army to come and kill us. And now you want us, you want to go to Abuja. You send their force now, they'll bring they'll bomb everybody to death. They are Igbo presidency, useless set of idiots, traitors and betrayers. Jim Wobodo, in 1999 in Jos, you were speaking Hausa against your own brother, Ekwueme. You are speaking Hausa. In Jos in 1999, you campaigned against your brother. Now you are talking about Igbo presidency. Oh, dear me. Igbo presidency, there. Useless people. There is something I want to tell all of you. We hope, pray, and know that Biafra will come, or the zoo will be destroyed before 2023. Of course, everybody knows that. It's given. COVID-19 saved them last year. It won't save them again. This year, the vaccine is out. Instead of an Igbo man to be the president, or Yoruba for that matter, let Fulani continue. It is called Mirina Mohuana Manna Yubu. Since you people prefer to be slaves, because if we allow any of you idiots to enter into Asarok, after about 4 or 5 years or 6, Fulani will take it back for eternity. You would have benefited from your own wickedness and evil. So you know what is going to happen? If Fulani are smart enough, they should continue. They can, everyone saw what happened all over the world. Rigging of election these days is just is given. It is no longer a big deal. That
was the same question I asked yesterday on Twitter. If eventually you get this Igbo presidency, after this 4 to 8 years, what will be your faith? Do you think the 4 to 8 years is going to change every faith of what you have not been able to change in the last 6 decades? It is only 8 to 4 years, not even up to 1 decade. Then you will now try to amend everything that has not been amended in the last 6 decades. And after that, you will leave the office because Constitution states it is 8 years. That's when they will remind you that it is 8 years. It is Fulani turn. If eventually you make it there, which is of course that they are not planning to give it to you. They just want to off-ramp. They want to use IPOB to off-ramp. They want to see if they will use us, and that is how wise IPOB has been. They kept quiet in that. That's why they are trying to use the faction they created. The criminals they have created that is going to be powered, gun-powered, and by Asare Dokubo and co. They will bring into your land to help the Fulani and the European Union to rig the election 2023. If it works on their behalf, it becomes election free and fair. If it doesn't work on their behalf, on their own benefit, it becomes election rigged. That's what they are going to do. But now, let us continue to listen to the voice of the prophet speaking to you. Like you are hearing it, you will be feeling like it was something he just did recently or today. Listen.
As long as you're proclaimed the winner, that's it. If Fulani are very smart, they will continue in office. They will continue in the zoo, in their zoo. Of course, we are living. We're not going to stay there. That is why you don't want to support Biafra. Because of presidency. So you and your friends can now be eating money. You buy your own houses in Dubai. You want to be like Hatiku. You want to be like, your wife want to be like, what's her name? Aisha. Flying private jet to Dubai for shopping. Meanwhile, we are dying. We want people to understand this. DSS especially. No matter how many groups, fake groups you create. Because every day...
That's exactly what they want. It is only what they want.
Igbo in the diaspora, including men and women and children. This group now says, we don't want to listen to Nnamdi Kanu. As if writing this junk will make any iota of difference. Do you think it makes us more popular? Of course, yes. Do you think it will make any difference? Will change our mind? These you, they are not that stupid though. You know, I told you during NSAS campaign, some of you never realized this. We outnumbered the Nigerian army by 100,000 people to 1. They are nothing. We outnumbered them. We outnumbered the Nigerian army. Do you see when people came out on the streets for NSAS protest? They were nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. We outnumbered them. You people must prepare for a revolution. A very bloody one. Very, very bloody, I tell you. As I said, if you don't know what is involved in a revolution, please don't come out. What we are not going to allow are Fulani terrorists from Mali and Senegambia to take our land over. It cannot happen.
What that revolution is talking about, it is this time that you need to prepare for that revolution. Because that revolution is the only thing that will transition you into a brighter future. Every nation that you have seen in this that is prospering today, they had their own revolution. It is that revolution that will transition you to your better future. Because what Nigeria is doing today and the hand that is holding Nigeria will never leave it except you break that hand through revolution. Except you break that curse, that covenant through revolution. You must prepare for that revolution. Otherwise, the takeover will prepare to take you over. You will be taken over by the Fulani Caliphate. You must prepare for the revolution. And they have given you opportunity. Instead of you going out there to burn banks, do not go out there to burn banks. That building you are trying to burn is not your problem. Building that you are trying to burn is not the one holding your money. The one holding your money is Garba Shehu. Now Malami, they are the ones holding your money. It is not banks building that is holding your money. So stop damaging those bank infrastructure. Those things, they belong to ordinary people who are also maybe feeling the spikes of what you are feeling today. It does not belong to the government official. So you burning a bank is making you a coward. You must prepare for a revolution. Go and study how America carried out their revolution. Study how Russia carried out their revolution in the 17th century. Go and study such. Then you will prepare for a revolution. Because most important thing you need to understand, it is not being, most of the time, black people, you only try to be destructive. It is not being destructive that is going to actually help you to do what you want to do. You have your own aims. Study the aims that you want to take. Prepare for revolution. Carry it out. The people who are holding you are in Aso Rock. They are a group of, cabals in Aso Rock, led by Garba Shehu. Revolution can actually remove that mask from that young man in Aso Rock who call himself Buhari, who change lane every day. Revolution can do that. It is only the truth you tell yourself that is best known to you. you are calling for Igbo presidency. But this Igbo presidency, it is the same thing that Ohaneze has come out to say. Let me actually show you. I believe I have it. Do I? Ohaneze came out to speak to say, we have not supported any Igbo presidency, any candidate for Igbo presidency. Ohaneze said it. It is quite unfortunate that I did not bring it with me, but I know that Ohaneze said it. They are not in support of any Igbo candidate yet. They have not said it. Okay, let me read it for you. This is it. I believe it is still probably going to be in the computer since it is. Let me read it. Let me actually bring it in front of your screen so that you will know. Ohaneze does not support any. They say they don't support any of these Igbo presidents. So let us. I hope I am okay. Let me bring it. Now, I don't know if you are seeing it in front of you. Did you see this? Let me read it. This was a news that came February 8. February 8, a news from Sahara Reporter. We have not endorsed P2B or any Nigeria presidential candidate or Ohaneze worldwide. We have not endorsed. So for you to understand that, you see what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said when Okadibo come out, who supported him? Nobody. Because these people, they know that anybody going to that Igbo presidency, they are not going for the sake of the people. They are going for the sake of themselves. The wife want to answer first lady. The other one want to be the first citizen. They don't have political will to do anything. That is the reason why Umahi will say, if not me, who, it can never be anybody. Rather they will start supporting Fulani. Dave Umahi, who is this Fulani candidate, Fulani boy in Imo State, will say, if not me, let it be a Fulani slave, another Fulani slave. That is what they will call. Kalu will say the same thing. They will never support each other. But the only thing they are looking for is to find a way to use